Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Julie Anne Prescott, and she is going to be playing Dr. Dementia in Killed on Arrival. Hey Julie, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know before we started recording, we were talking about the cooking and everything. I love to cook.
About it.
Yeah, so that was a good conversation. And like I said, I love cooking, and if you have need any advice or anything, I'm willing to help you out with that. I mean, I love to cook.
I
So
need it. I already inspired by what you were saying. It's like I'm ready to cook some chili right now. I got to find those hot sauces though.
yes, after the interview's up and everything, I'll go on Amazon and see if I can find them on there. You can probably get them a lot cheaper, I'm assuming, in Walmart. I don't know how much they go for. I know I got them for a Christmas gift, but I can show
Mhm.
you what they are so you know what to look out for. And if you want to get them on Amazon or want to wait till Christmas, whatever, you can look at them. But yeah, I know those hot sauces are really good, and that cowboy chili I made was amazing. And
It
adding
looked
that
good.
whiskey habanero hot sauce in, perfect.
For the second I got on here, I'm like, can we talk about the chili?
It was really good, and I love chili, so it really came out really well. So the first question I got for you is more generic. How did you get your start into acting?
Well, I got my start in acting. I actually went on Craigslist before Craigslist. I don't know if it's even you can even look at it anymore these days, but and I saw an ad. I was inspired. I was doing a lot of like stage shows, very theatrical, and someone was like, "Well, why don't you look into acting?" And I loved horror movies. I loved being a part of watching them and kind of going to conventions and stuff like that. And it sort of all kind of tangled together when they told me that I didn't have a resume and I really couldn't be a part of it at that point. And then I saw that Debbie Rashawn was going to be kind of involved with it. And I worked with Trauma doing convention work with them and doing like some stage shows with them. So I actually got a referral from Lloyd Kaufman and Trauma for my work at the conventions with them. And they gave me a shot. And once I got into acting, I just didn't stop. So once I got in, I did the first project. It was called Slices, and it's an anthology. And you can actually, I think you can still get on Amazon.
Mhm.
I know Trent Haga was in it, a lot of really cool people. And so after that, I continued. I used that film as a recommendation and then kept getting referred on to continue. So that's kind of where it started.
Awesome, awesome. So how did you happen to get involved with Killed on Arrival?
Killed on Arrival, I believe, I think I was working on something else. I might have been working on, I don't know which one was first. I might have been working on Bloody Summer Camp. And I know that I had been working with Matt Burns on Street Show as well.
Mhm.
So a lot of that same team kind of like worked together. And so I believe I got recommended to work with it through them. And also I had seen on Facebook that they were crowdfunding and they were casting, they were doing different things. And so I was following the project before that. And then I can't remember what came first, but it was sort of like working with everybody and also extending my interest, following the project, supporting, sharing.
Mhm.
And so I think kind of like everything together with that led to being able to be a part and working with those guys on Killed on Arrival.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. So for those unaware, what is Killed on Arrival all about?
Killed on Arrival, it's basically it's we had a really cool location.
Mhm.
They had it a lot of segments there were done looking kind of like torture, haunted house look. In fact, the place itself was haunted, which I
Oh
can tell you
wow.
that too. But basically, I felt that my character was, I don't know as far as like giving a backstory on her per se, besides she's really demented. Sometimes they don't need to have a huge kind of like where they came from,
Mhm.
but she was into really taking these people and turning them inside out and just taking
Ooh.
them apart. And so, but she comes off kind of like creepy and you're not so sure. Maybe she's going to just give you a normal kind of
Mhm.
exam. Maybe your head hurts and she's like,
Right.
oh, but with her, I don't know. To me, I felt that she had a very, very sinister, but also inviting appearance to her.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and like you said, you don't really need a backstory on a lot of the villains. That's what makes them scarier. Like Michael Myers, he really became watered down and not as scary when he got that backstory, you know?
It's yeah, I have to agree with you. It's like I like what they did, but to me, sometimes I don't know. It's where if you come up with
Mhm.
it in your head, sometimes it can be more interesting. Sometimes
Yeah,
it can be more something where what you imagine is different
mhm.
than what actually was part of the concept. So when you put them
Right,
together, it's almost like what you thought was had its own like kind of weight to it. And then you
yeah,
hear like, well, that's cool, but now I want to see this. Now you want to see that same character kind of do what you were
mhm.
thinking originally, which is cool
Yeah.
because something like that on your own.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a little bit about Dr. Dementia. Is there anything, I know with NDA clauses it's hard to kind of do anything, but is there anything we can expect that's going to be like a what the fuck kind of moment?
Well, I think that there's a specific kill that she's involved with that it was very difficult to do, very messy, very cool, but I think when you see it, it's just going to be like a very you're gonna be able to feel it through the screen. You're going to definitely be able to feel kind of that like grossed out from that
Yeah,
kill. I was very proud of it.
that's
Actually,
awesome.
I got like stuff all over me, and I believe like the dress I was so proud of. I'm like, look at this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what do you believe is the hardest part in bringing Dr. Dementia to life?
I think it was again not fully knowing, beforehand kind of where she was coming from like in a whole,
Hmm.
and having the idea in my head and making sure that everybody, the director, the people in the scene, that everybody, was happy with what I was doing with it, making sure
Yeah.
that my matched what they wanted to see, and making sure it fit with the story, and making sure that
Hmm.
it fit with, what everybody else was bringing. And so it would tie in and it would do something that would give credit and really like bring
Right.
up what they wanted to see from that character and bringing her to life.
Absolutely. So is the film it's finished filming now, correct? It's in post-production, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I think that they were adding a few things in, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. I think they kind of like added a few bonuses in there. But
Okay.
overall, I know that they are working at it, and they are just putting some finishing touches on to make it even more full and have like like a couple more surprises in there.
Mhm.
I was actually really excited to see what they were filming. So
That's
as far
awesome.
as that, I don't know if they are 100% wrapped. I know that they do have a good portion of it, and that if there's anything else, it's going to be stuff that would be kind of icing on
Okay.
the cake, what was already there.
Awesome. Awesome. So now, regarding the film, obviously the film itself, is there an anticipated release date, or is that all up in the air as of this moment?
I'm not sure 100% on the release date. I think if they are putting bonuses in there, or they're touching up things that they want to have as like
Mhm.
anything that would be like special kind of behind the scenes things they want to add, then it might take a little bit longer. But I know that they are pretty close to finalization, so I would not anticipate too much longer. But as far as like an actual release date or a premiere or anything like that, I'm not sure, just
Okay.
because I wrapped mine, and anything else that was just kind of integrated in would be
Yeah.
something that they would, if it's ongoing, it's because they have a reason, and they've made those
Hmm.
decisions to kind of add it along in. And it might make it a little longer, but it's going to be worth it in the long run.
Absolutely. So, um, I mean, so like obviously you have a lot of credits to your name. So as an actress, what do you believe is the most challenging part in being an actress?
I think the most challenging part of being an actress is, um, to me, it was letting go of the experience when I
Mhm.
left. I always kind of wanted that environment, and was
Mhm.
thriving in the environment and happy to be in the character and put myself
Yeah.
into the character. So it's kind of like shutting it off. You
Yeah.
get really into being that character beforehand. You start having all these ideas. You're prepping, you're thinking about it in your
Mhm.
head, you're talking to everybody, and it becomes a little mini kind of side quest in your life
Yeah.
and your side quest. And so to get out of that side quest and then go on or go back to what you're doing before and reset, you're still thinking about it. So to me, it's kind of letting go of that experience and letting it breathe on its own and letting it live on its own, and then leaving it up to the people that gave you it in the first place. So to me, it's that. It's kind of saying goodbye and also shutting yourself off to a new and opening a new one.
Absolutely. So do you do any like method acting or character acting, or are you like any type, are you a specific actor?
I watch videos. I know that might be helpful for people. Um, if I really have to be in a dark place, I'll think about real life things, but that's hard to get out of. Anyone will tell you that.
Yeah.
It's if you do that personal touch to it, it can be really hard. So if it's just for a scene and it's not meant to be something really immersive, I'll watch upsetting videos or I'll watch really happy videos. And I do research on things that are kind of related, but not 100% where I'm going to just take the whole thing and run, but just kind of, I pick up on feelings. Like I'm a person that if I see someone else crying or I see someone else angry, I pick up on those vibes pretty easy. So I will watch a video if I need to get kind of put in the mood for something. And I like to be by myself. I'm kind of like an isolation person for that, especially before a scene. So I'll just go off by myself. I'll go on a walk or I'll go in a room alone. So
nice. Yeah. So the last question I got for you is, do you want to promote anything, any projects, films, social media, websites to the listening and viewing audience?
as far as what has come out of mine lately, I have not been on as much. So I would check my IMDb, and I don't know if it's Amazon Prime's really good with it, where you put in someone's name and it'll show you what's available, or the Roku channel or Tubi. I know a couple of my projects just came out recently, and there's a few coming out in the next month.
Okay.
And as far as what I'm working on right now, I've been doing production side for the past year, where I've been doing a lot of writing. I've been doing a lot of working on sound, working on lighting. And I'm actually co-directing for the first time on a film called Silent Night, Bloody Night 3. And it's part of the original film, I believe, came out in the 70s. And it had a sequel that came out. Yeah. And they were both really amazing films. So we were asked to do the third installment to kind of stay true and really be respectful to these films, and also with notes, create our own vision. So I have a campaign for that right now. It has like a week left, and we're filming in New York and Long Island. So if anybody has questions, or you want to get involved, or you want to give any notes for things you'd like to see, one of the main things of co-directing for me that's been important is I want fans, supporters, anybody who's interested to have as much involvement with it. Yeah. So if there's something you want to see, maybe you're a fan of the other films, or maybe you just have an idea, message me directly on Facebook, and we'll talk about it and see if we can maybe, get some of those ideas integrated.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much, Julie, for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having me. It's been really fun.
Absolutely, it definitely was, and I'll get you those hot sauce if I can find it. I'm sure it's on Amazon, so I'll get you that. I know you would definitely want to see that.
I'm about the hot sauce.
Absolutely. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.